So the first thing that we do, and this is taught in different ways, I've kind of made it my own for simplicity, but when you make a call to someone and you schedule a listing appointment, we have an email that says seller after first conversation, okay? It's an email template, and that's gonna set you up for success. So when you're on the phone with someone and you're setting up your appointment, let them know that our procedure is I'm gonna send you an introductory email. It has a brief synopsis of what we're gonna go over in the email or in the appointment. So please take a look at that. There's a couple videos that are gonna be very important for you to watch and will save us time on our listing appointment, right? Listing consultation, right? So you send the email, then you send them an invite that says listing consultation, not listing appointment, but listing consultation. And you send that to them. So when you go to the house, you know, what I normally do is, you know, have your bag with you, you walk on, knock on the door, you introduce yourself, and you ask them if you could put your stuff on the counter, right, or on the kitchen table. You're trying to get a little bit of control in the listing appointment and gain trust. Then the next thing you want to do is you are going to want to ask them to get a tour of the home, right? So as you're getting the tour of the home, usually whoever, especially if you're with the husband and the wife, and you're walking around, whoever is leading the tour is usually the one that's in control of the conversation. Yes?
I asked to get a drink of water.
Well, that's coming.
Yeah.
That's coming, yeah. So you ask them to give the tour. As you're going through the house, you're trying to find, you know, first of all, you're analyzing the home. You're trying to find common ground. If you see you went to the same college as them, or they took a trip to Costa Rica, you know, you're also trying to really break the ice from a professional level to, you know, a personal level as well. There was a guy, Jeff Cook, that he will walk the house, and he says, I will not even sit down at the table until I get some kind of laugh with them, right? So you're trying to build rapport while you're doing that. And then you're also analyzing the home as well, right? And you're offering suggestions as you're going through the home, and you're going to speak in terms of what we are going to do when we're listing the home. Like, okay, yeah, we will take care of the, you know, changing out these fixtures. You're being a little assumptive about how you're going to work with them, okay? So as you're going through the home and you're finished the tour, at this point you've built your rapport, you've figured out who is the decision maker in the household, and you've done some assumptive statements about how you're going to handle the listing when you get it, right? At this point, you're going to ask them if you can sit down at the kitchen table, and then, as Matt says, ask them for a glass of water, right? Again, you're establishing a little bit of control. It's not, I mean, it might be a little bit manipulative, but at the same time, you want to gain control of the situation. It doesn't mean you're gonna get the listing.
It's just strategy.
It's just strategy, that's a good point. So, when you sit down at the table, we have had this before. This is our listing questionnaire. When I first adopted this from another broker, it was like 5 pages long. Way I like to do is I sit down at the table and I say, look, I could go through a whole song and dance of our listing, but what I'd like to do is go through a series of questions to see what's important to you, right? And so we recently shortened this down from 7 questions to 5. The first question is, have you ever sold a home through a real estate agent before? And you say yes or no. If the answer is yes, you say, what was that experience like? If the answer is no, then you skip down to number 3 and say, okay, what is important to you in a real estate agent? And National Association of Realtors says that the number 1 complaint that consumers have is lack of communication. So there's a 70% chance that they're gonna say communication, right? So when they do that and they say that, you know, you start with, okay, when we get into contract, we start a group text with, you know, my listing coordinator, my myself and the stager. As you know, if you're listing a home with us, we offer complimentary staging consultations. So and we'll let them know that through that group text, you'll be able to get in touch with all three of this. Sunny and I have been doing this for years. It's been really good. When I'm not available, she is, and vice versa. So people really respond to that. They talk about when you get to number 4, it says, what marketing do you think is important? We have literally been working on this for months, okay? And it's taken a long time, but you're gonna go through, like, this is the process of the home: research, interpret, prepare, present, promote, negotiate, coordinate, facilitate, and execute, okay? With us, we focus on 2 different things. 1 is the presentation of the home, and 2 is the marketing of the home, okay? So you'll go into, the staging, right? And I usually go through this really fast. By the way, I got this weekend, and I've done 2 listing appointments this weekend, so I'm very new with this, but it's very seamless, right? You can go through it and you say, okay, we look at the condition of the home. We can get a pre-inspection if you like. And by the way, guys, I would start pushing these pre-inspections again. The market's starting to soften up, and tell them that, pre-inspections, because when you get a pre-inspection, we're allowed to negotiate in a position of strength because everything's transparent. So first of all, when it says, your home's condition, and, getting it ready to market, when a consumer puts a offer on a home and you give them a pre-inspection, you're able to eliminate the big surprises, and either you fix what needs to be done, right? The big ticket items, which will cost you on average 3 times as much during a negotiation than if you did it before negotiation, or you let them know about the little items and say, look, we don't want to be nitpicked. You see the pre-inspection, you know that these things are coming, right? You need to tell your client, like, they will always ask for something just because they do, but they're more likely to ask for a lot less, if anything at all, when they are presented with a pre-inspection, okay? So, pre-inspections, $500, they easily make their money on that, okay? Getting the home prepared, our stager will go through, give you a business plan on room by room on what needs to be done to the home, what needs to be eliminated, declutter, depersonalize, paint, whatever it is, right? And then we go into the marketing part of it, right? So with ours, but what we're telling them with the marketing, and what I tell these guys all the time, is that our marketing is designed to bring attention to the home before it's listed, okay? And the difference between us and a lot of other brokerages is that we typically will not allow anyone in the home until the day it is listed. So we're creating demand, we're creating a bottleneck of consumers that want to see the home, so that the day that the home is listed, we open up that bottleneck and we have the demand, and the goal for our marketing is to create the conditions that lead to a multiple offer situations, right? You guys might want to write that down. Is that our goal is to create the conditions that lead to a multiple offer situation. Do we always do it? No, but we do it often. And if we do it right, if we prepare your home in the right way, and you take our suggestions for staging and our suggestions for pricing, then very often this happens, okay? And then just kind of go through, this is our coming soon. We also do, retargeting of the home. We have AdWords for just about every neighborhood in town, so that we show up top of the list and we can market to them. So, and then also we have syndication. We can put your home on Top Agent Network. And then, the rest of it is just going through the transactional basis. By the way, this is our new sign. You probably have seen that. So, and then finally, you get to determining value. And I usually kind of stop here and say that brings us to, the last question on our list is what do you think your home is worth, right? I've had people say, well, that's why you're here. I said, okay, I have an idea of what your home is worth. I want to know what you think, and if you don't want to tell me, without me telling you, let's just, have a fun exercise and tear up a piece of paper, and I'll give you my price, you give me yours, okay? I always give them a range. And what I found works the best is, especially if it's not a cookie cutter neighborhood, that what I tell them is, like, look guys, here's the range of $30,000. I did not know what your home was going to look like before I got here. Things are going to move. If you're 6 weeks away, there could be another comp that occurs. So what I'd like to do is, if we agree on this range, let's put to be determined, TBD, on the contract, so that when we get closer to the time, we can analyze the comps. I'll give you a better idea, in the next week, right? But I need to now that I've seen your home, I need to really dig into the comparables.